discuss uh, what kind of challenges that we see when you implement a new system, a new technology system, or migrate the current process to a new system, or you automate your current process. And so we decided to make that video to expose some of this area, the challenges that you may face as an organization. And also, we're going to discuss what can you do to overcome some of these challenges. One of the main challenge that I've seen throughout my career is the goal sometimes are different between those two teams. Let's talk about that example just to simplify things. Let's say that you want to automate some of regulatory reporting or some of the reporting, the finance and accounting reporting that you do in a house. You want to automate those reports through any kind of system, SAP or Hyperion, whatever the case may be. So in order for that migration to happen or that automation to happen, you will have probably, if it's not 2 or 3 teams involved, you will have the accounting team, you will have the finance team, you will have the reporting teams, sometimes you will have the controller involved as well, and also you will have the technology, which that will be doing the coding, and they will be basically making that automation happen. So most of the time, as I said, there is sometimes you see two different set of goals between the technology team or operation technology team and the other teams as well, the reporting team or the finance team or the accounting team, whatever the case may be. And that main difference of not seeing the same goals coming from the expertise you have and also the process that you follow, and kind of sometimes hard to see eye to eye. So you will be looking at the technology team saying, okay, what we care about here is getting the data in the system, and we're producing X number of reports. In the other hand, you will see the finance team or accounting team, or regardless the name of the team, saying, wait a second, I need that 1, 2, or 3 reports. I need to be able to see those reports produced within the system, either in order to submit these to the Fed or submit them to the IRS, or will be discussing them during some meetings in order for us to make a decision. So it's important for the decision maker within the organization to see this kind of reports. Again, the issue here what we're discussing is the challenges, and one of those challenges is sometimes those teams, they don't see things eye to eye. They don't see that what exactly needs to be produced. They're looking at this as if it's a separate goals. For the IT team, they look at this, and technology team, they look at this, I need the amount of data in, regardless. The other team looking at this, no, if I don't have my reports, then I will be really wasting our resources in this process or in this new system. And you're going to also find, as a result of that, a lot of pushing back to use that kind of system because it's not serving the purpose of these groups and of these departments and these teams. So the question comes here: how can you overcome something like that? And from as I said, throughout my career, the best way to deal with that is really getting these teams at some point of that project, when that project started, at some point they will be like seeing one boss, meaning reporting probably to one or two individuals, and that will help a lot. Will help bringing these goals together, bringing the combination and combining these goals together, and also will help each team to see from that lens of the other team, especially the IT folks and the technology folks. Again, because the expertises are different. You have someone dealing with codes is not really dealing with reports, and you have other team, for example, dealing with numbers. They want to see numbers. They want to see reports that reflecting the actual numbers, the integrity of the data they have. They don't want to see data that does not make much of a sense. For example, you can see the IT team saying, "Hey, we got the data in," and when you have the folks from the reporting or finance or accounting team looking at it and say, "Wait a second, this cannot be the data for this year data," and when you check further, you're going to see this data actually is maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago data. But again, why? Because the IT folks looking at this as if it's data are in, we did what we're supposed to do. Again, the reporting team will be looking at this. No, wait a second, this maybe does not serve our purpose. So the best way to deal with that is making sure these teams are really very well connected, and make sure you establish a common purpose between these teams, and make sure these teams are communicating very well with each other, because sometimes you come to the point that the conflict is so bad that they don't want to even communicate. They don't want to even talk to each other. They always in conflict. Why? Because again, they don't see from the same lens as everybody else, as the other team. It's very important to bring that common goal and common purpose to them. Also, if it's really complicated process, meaning that it has a lot of function data, you have to massage the data a lot with functionality, with pivot table, for example, in Excel and all of that, then it's better if you have the expertise from those reporting team or finance team to build it in Excel or something, or in any kind of database if they can, so they can show the IT team, the technology team, the result of it, what you really want to see in that. So sometimes you're really spending a lot of time to bring that picture very close to those folks that working in technology, because they kind of have that expertise, but they don't know exactly what you mean, where you want to be. So you want to help them out to work with you and to achieve that common goal. Again, one of the really important thing that when you have those teams, at least during that project, they report to either one group or a couple of people or one person just during that project, because that will help really to calm things down, to establish the system of that project, and to establish that the common goal, the common purposes, and will be able to have a better communication when you see your boss talking the same language as everybody else. So you kind of respect that, and you kind of leaning toward, okay, here we work together, how we can achieve that, rather than you see in most cases that the IT folks is reporting to one person, and then the other reporting team or technology team, or sorry, the accounting team or finance team or reporting team reporting to different people, and then you end up with all that conflicts, because again, it's hard to see from the same lens, and also sometimes they need to see where you want to be and what kind of reports really important to you. That's one. And then the other thing is, at that point, yes, it's going to be how much of a data in, but because you're reporting to the same person. So it's going to be able to see, oh, that report is not really doing any good to me. It probably is good for log, it's probably is good for admin side, but it's not good for report. It is not good for finance. It is not good for accounting. How can we change that? Yes, the data are in, but the data is not really reflecting what we expect, what our expectations are. So again, that's the most common challenge that I've seen throughout my career. That when you have that implementation happening or taking place, however, people intended not to see eye to eye, lots of uncertainty in that project as well. You're trying to achieve it in a very short period of time because of the resources, because of the still have a pilot program. You're still going to have some issue you have to overcome, and then you need to move that to an environment and test it 1 and 2 and 3, and then you producing or you put it in production, which is going to be again meaning that some other issues can also come up during this process, that phase of production, and you need to keep your eyes on those issues. You need to evaluate them. Sometimes even you need to bring back that test environment again, and you test your data again and again just to make sure data are correct. This you're producing the reports that you expecting them to produce. Again, having that common purpose, having that common person that you reporting to, it will help these teams to come to that common goal very quickly, achieving that common goal very quickly, and able to deal with that kind of issue as it comes out in a very effective way. And that's what you need in a product. Very effective way. How they deal with it. Does it really that report make much of a sense or not? This is what you're looking for, as well as a lot of testing that need to be going on in order to ensure that migration, either a full migration or partition migration, that took place efficiently, or the automation that you do for the current process, it really saves you time. And instead of massaging these data, you're focusing more on the analytics part of it, and you see what impacting really your bottom line more. So you're giving really the tools to the decision maker to be better equipped and to make better decisions. Also from the other side, as I said, you cutting that timeline by submitting these reports. If you need to submit them to the Fed or the IRS, you're doing that in a very timely manner, which will help your credibility for sure, and it will help also you cut in restatements, and cutting you going back and change the data, and do all of that. So I hope that video will help some of the folks out there, and I hope that will answer a few questions that we came across. Please visit us at the channel, AM Ahmed, and leave your comments and ask any question, and we'll see how can we address those questions. Also feel free to comment and leave us what you think about it. And if you need further assistance or something, just ask, and we will try to address those questions as we read them and as we come across them. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe, and we'll see you next week.